Hey guys, how are you? In this video, we'll talk about the second most populous city in Texas, San Antonio. We'll take a look at the major sites, talk to locals, and spend a day with my friend An. So lots to cover, let's get started. San Antonio has a population of 1.4 million residents. It was founded as a Spanish mission and a colonial outpost in 1718, when this area was still part of the Spanish Empire. The city contains 5 Spanish frontier missions, including the Alamo. These outposts were established by Catholic religious orders to spread Christianity among the local natives. They were formed as a part of colonization that stretched across the Spanish Southwest in the 17th, 18th, and 19th centuries. Let's take a look at downtown first. Downtown San Antonio is not your typical central business district with no life after working hours. You can stroll down the Riverwalk to browse galleries and art openings while enjoying some live music drifting over the water. A boat trip is a great way to experience this historic area. This beautiful, serene walkway is linked to some of the finest hotels and restaurants downtown San Antonio has to offer. It was extended an additional 13 miles between 2009 and 2013. Along the river you'll find Marriage Island, which sits in the middle of the river and is used for weddings. It is heart-shaped, so they say it brings good luck to new marriages. Briscoe Western Art Museum. It's a modern museum with art and artifacts reflecting the history and culture of the American West. But for many Americans, the main reason to visit San Antonio is the Alamo, one of the most recognized symbols of Texas. A lot of people are shocked to find out that the Alamo is so small. The Alamo, an 18th century Spanish mission that's been preserved as a museum, marks an infamous 1836 battle for Texan independence from Mexico. 188 Texan volunteers heroically fought against the Mexican army, many times superior, for 13 days. Unfortunately, all the defenders were killed, but their heroism raised the morale of other Texas militias, who 6 weeks later defeated the Mexicans in the Battle of San Jacinto.
This is 1803 Louisiana Purchase. Well, if you could picture Texas, the northeast part was called Texas. Like from Nacogdoches east was Texas. Up by the Red River, Arkansas, that was Texas. The rest of it was all New Spain, Mexico. And this is what the Tejanos were fighting for. This was their land.
Let's see what other attractions the city's got to offer, and then we'll talk about what it's like living here. The Tower of the Americas is a 750-foot observation tower with a revolving restaurant at the top that provides panoramic views of the city. It was the tallest observation tower in the US from 1968 until 1996, when the Las Vegas Stratosphere Tower was completed. La Antorcha de la Amistad, which is Spanish for the Torch of Friendship, is a monumental abstract structure given by the Mexican government to the city of San Antonio in 2002. The Majestic Theater is a gorgeous theater where you can watch a concert or a show, like a show of Bill Maher. Tobin Center for Performing Arts is a great place for anything from symphonies to rock concerts to stage performances, and they say the acoustics are amazing there. Where are we? I'm lost.
In Japanese Tea Garden in San Antonio.
If you need a place to unwind, go to Japanese Tea Garden, a marvelous place. They have lots of colorful fish and different plants. It's perfect for a short hike and has lots of great spots for pictures. It was opened in an abandoned limestone quarry in the early 20th century. What a place, what a place. We're in Japanese Tea Gardens, guys. And funny thing is, we were passing by and it said Chinese Tea Garden. I'm like, did they confuse the name? But there's a reason for that. So during World War II, the US was against Japan, among other countries, and so to keep it from vandalism, they renamed it to Chinese Tea Garden, but now they restored the original name. So that's the secret. But oh boy, it's just so hot in here, man, I'm sweating, and it's just 95 outside, so I can't even imagine what it's gonna feel like in July and August when it's gonna top like 100 Fahrenheit, because the humidity makes it almost unbearable. Ooh, need some air conditioning? Welcome to Texas. If you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. We're in Texas and everything is big in Texas, and behind me is the world's largest cowboy boots. I'm sure you've seen pictures of the world's largest cowboy boot statue. It's also located in San Antonio at North Star Mall entrance. It's a sculpture by the late artist Bob Daddy-O Wade entitled The Giant Justins. This is not my size, guys.
The Alamo Dome is a famous 64,000-seat indoor domed multipurpose stadium where you can watch a lot of things, from the annual college football Alamo Bowl to a monster truck show. Historic Market Square is the largest Mexican market in the US. It's a 3-block outdoor plaza lined with shops and restaurants. Every year, the city is visited by 32 million tourists. It's also home to the 5-time NBA champion San Antonio Spurs and hosts the annual San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo, one of the largest such events in the US. San Antonio is the largest majority Hispanic city in the US. Besides the historical part, the city's got some cool neighborhoods, like the Pearl District, which once was an industrial area, but now it's been transformed into a hip and vibrant neighborhood. Taking its name from the former Pearl Brew House, built in 1894, this 16-block district now contains a huge and varied array of shops, restaurants, bars, coffee shops, the Culinary Institute of America, as well as twice-weekly farmers market. The Pearl District is kind of the hipster alternative to the Riverwalk. That's not as famous, but probably more authentic and a little more old school.
What's your name, man?
My name's Seth, and I live in San Antonio, Texas, and we're down here at the Pearl. And he was asking me what's special about it. I don't really know. It's just really nice, and it's kind of got a good ambiance, and there's a lot of girls everywhere, so I like riding my bike down here.
If you could pick any city to live in the US, what would it be?
Oh shit, don't ask me that. It would probably be San Francisco, man. I love the breeze. But I mean, San Antonio, I grew up here. I grew up out of town. San Antonio's been my home city, so all my family's here. I like it. I mean, it's got a lot of cool stuff if you get out and try, look for things. But yeah, I enjoy it here.
What do you like to do in the city?
Man, I ride my bike a lot, all the time. But I usually will hit bars, but I like the historical aspect. I could ride my bike and hit like missions and check out where like different fights were at and stuff. For me, that's cool. I like geography. So there's a lot of history in the city with all the Alamos and other stuff. I don't know, man. I always find stuff to do. There's a lot of cool people. Everybody's very friendly. I've traveled a lot of places, and Texas is one of the friendlier ones, right. I think, yeah. New York, like, nah.
When it comes to economy, San Antonio has a diversified economy with a gross domestic product of approximately $121 billion as of 2018. The local economy focuses primarily on military, healthcare, government service, financial services, oil and gas, and tourism. San Antonio has the headquarters of 4 Fortune 500 companies: Valero Energy, USAA, iHeartMedia, and New Star Energy Whataburger. Unfortunately, the city lost several major company headquarters in the recent years, the largest being the 2008 move of AT&T to Dallas. The city is home to one of the largest concentrations of military bases in the US, with 300,000 active military personnel. The city of San Antonio and its metropolis was rated the poorest in 2019, with an estimated 16.8% of the population living at or below the poverty line. In 2019, households had a median income of $53.5 thousand a year. There are still some wealthy neighborhoods though. Uptown Broadway is home to a concentrated area of old money bedroom communities. These communities are Alamo Heights, Alamos Park, Lincoln Heights, and Terrell Hills. Even though it's the second largest city in the US, it still has a small town feel. Public transportation in the city is very minimal. It's one of the most car-dependent cities in the US. San Antonio is not known as being a particularly bike-friendly city either, but it's making progress. There's definitely demand for that, as the city's bike share programs experienced a pandemic-induced spike in ridership. My friend Ann, who was born in Vietnam and came to the US at the age of 14, lives in San Antonio. So let's talk to him.
Привет. Привет. Welcome to San Antonio.
Thank you.
Maybe I should say a Russian accent. Welcome to San Antonio.
Спасибо.
Serious way.
Tell me, what's it like living in San Antonio?
San Antonio, the cost of living is lower. We have more space over here. Like if you live in Dallas or Houston or Austin, sometimes you can have a problem finding a parking spot. But in San Antonio, not very much of a problem.
I mean, in many places, San Antonio feels like a small town America.
Yeah.
And I really love that driving on those highways compared to Houston, they're not overcrowded. It's like getting from one place to another hardly ever takes more than 20 minutes. Most of the time, it's like 13, 16 minutes from one place to another. So you work from home?
Yes.
What do you do?
I do graphic design and 3D simulation for building and apartments.
Is San Antonio a safe place?
Quite safe when it comes to political tension. like you see so many places like New York City,
Right.
Chicago, some other place.
Riots and all that.
But the downside is that down here, since near the border, this might be a few problems with drugs. I've been getting Amber Alert, which is like alerting people from child abduction in my phone, like literally every week from now. If you like have a family, have a child, you never want to leave them like unattended.
Oh, wow. Do you have any plans of moving, or are you pretty satisfied with living here?
At my age, I feel like it's a little bit boring to live in San Antonio.
Okay.
The thing is, the culture here, like we surrounded by so much of the like big corporation and fast food chains.
Right.
In terms of like coffee shop, the coffee shop I brought you guys to earlier today, that's literally like very rare in San Antonio.
Oh.
In San Antonio, everywhere to Starbucks, you know. All right, welcome to the most typical house in San Antonio. We have 3 bedrooms and 1 little game room right there.
Oh, game room. I want to see that.
See, this is a little game room.
What are some of your favorite video games?
Right now, I play Super Mario. Well, I kind of like old school stuff now. Pow, 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 pow. Shoot,
All
shoot
enemies
him,
are dead.
Shoot him.
That's right.
So that's my mom's bedroom right there.
Okay.
Oh, so that's the restroom right here, if you guys need it.
So restroom.
It is an office, so I work here all the time.
Yeah.
And I sleep here all the time. The good thing about it is it's very convenient. I woke up, get to my office right away. The downside is that I gained 15 pounds doing that because lack of activity.
Right, you work and taking a nap right here.
Yes.
back to the office. That's your portfolio.
Yep. You see?
That's something you created, right?
It's a 3D program. If the client they want to build a new coffee shop, for example, this is a coffee shop. They want to build a new coffee shop and they want to see how it looks like before they get it done. So I do that for them. Okay, you can sit down.
Yeah.
In the winter, we usually have a fire and we cook a little bit like sausage and stuff like that.
Is it became red or yellow?
It became like orange-ish looking.
Okay. What do you call it?
Khaki fruit.
Khaki
Khaki
fruit.
like khaki pants. The thing is, if you live in a neighborhood like this, just say late at night, you want to go get a beer or you want to get a snack, you gotta drive. You gotta drive a little far. You cannot just walk, you know?
Because you're in America.
Yeah. But in Russia, you literally just go down the street. You walk down the street and grab it right there. See how cool that is?
I'm just curious, do you familiar with the price on the house in this neighborhood?
Yes, yes. As of 2021, should be around in between $200,000 to $250,000.
Okay.
For one house.
Do you often swim in here?
Oh, I never swim.
Never
Because
swim
too many
here.
kids, so
So you got specific times for adults?
8 to 9 in the morning.
Okay. Well, that's reasonable.
So in Vietnamese culture, while we wait for the coffee, we can have a nice conversation, and then wait for the coffee to get ready, and we drink after that. And after that, we start going to work. But you know, in the United States, usually people just grab the coffee real quick from the store and go to work right away.
And I will add some condensed milk, but it's not. Yeah, it's from USA.
Yeah, that's too little for people in San Antonio.
Now, I've been asking everybody that we meet if they have a gun, just out of curiosity. Do you have a gun?
Oh yeah!
Look at that. I mean, I'd be surprised if it didn't have a gun in Texas.
Yeah,
you know?
pull it out and see.
Okay.
It's not loaded. So
And honestly, most people have a gun in the U.S. Even the
just pull it out.
even the most peaceful. You can play Russian roulette with this one.
Yes. Let's do it right now.
Can you walk around with a pistol in Texas?
Technically, yes. It's an open carry state.
Wow.
Technically, yes. But as you see, like nobody do that.
Nobody really
Like,
does that.
There's
Yeah, right.
nobody have purpose of doing that. I also have a sword, but I cannot carry that out. You want to see that?
Sorry? Of course.
So do you have cowboy hat?
No, but I have cowboy boots.
Ooh, I love it. Have you ever chance to walk in these boots?
Yes, it's a tradition that we go into festival or we go on the dance hall with the cowboy boots here. And I really enjoy doing the two-step dancing with the cowboy boots. You might want to step as you move to, and of course with a partner.
Funny.
Of course, when it comes to food, you'll find all sorts of Tex-Mex and real Mexican restaurants. Breakfast tacos are a quintessential staple of any San Antonian's diet. And of course, nothing beats South Texas barbecue. How can you tell if a restaurant serves real Mexican or Tex-Mex cuisine? Basically, just look around. If the crowd looks Mexican and so do the waiters, you're probably in the real Mexican restaurant.
Tex-Mex, the flavors are more sweet, and the Mexican are more stronger flavors.
Okay.
As you're gonna try over here, the pastor, it is with a lot of chilies with spices that are not really bitter in your tongue, but it's a strong taste. Okay. So I invite you to taste it to see what it tastes to you. All right?
Texas is a warm place. So what do you do on a hot summer's day? Tubing is one option. Go to New Braunfels, grab a tube, and spend the entire day with your friends and the beautiful natural scenery along the banks of the Guadalupe River. Or just hit the pool. There's a lot of things to do, really. There's SeaWorld San Antonio and the Six Flags amusement park.
That's the cool part about staying at American hotels for a very affordable price. You get a swimming pool, and we're staying on the ground floor. So you just get your slippers and you're in the pool in the morning and at night. Very convenient.
You're a good swimmer.
I'm a good swimmer too. And in Texas, you always get nice weather.
Alright, let's sum it up. With its vibrant history, culture, and low cost of living, San Antonio is a great place to live in Texas, offering an ideal small town feel with all the perks of big city living. However, the city still has some catching up to do when it comes to new business ideas, startup culture, and entertainment. When it comes to violent crime rates, San Antonio is similar to Miami, Florida, San Francisco, and Denver. And actually, the greater San Antonio and greater Austin are just 80 miles apart, so you can always go to Austin and visit all their music festivals. That's pretty cool. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think about San Antonio, and I'll see you in my next video. Please subscribe and hit that bell button so you'll be notified about my future videos.